Welcome to the Cosmic Echoes on this Beltane flower moon in Scorpio. What a day, Sue. What kind of energy is this now?
Well, it's Buddha's birthday. It's
Oh,
the
right.
Wesak Buddhist festival as well.
Yeah,
So we've got Buddha chucked in as well.
yeah,
I would like him to calm the waters a bit more. But there you go.
yeah. Well, I've been writing about the today. Today, I talk about it a lot. I mean, we have the Chinese New Year, we have kind of the start of the zodiac, we have all these things. But the 1st of May also has this energy. I know
Yeah.
it's Beltane and it's like halfway between you must correct me now, the equinox and the solstice, I think. It's also
Yeah.
May Day. It's also International Workers' Day. It's got this energy of something is layered on top of something quite sacred. All these, other things that come in, that is layering it. But there's like I know in the northern hemisphere there's definitely more light today and less wind, which is great. But
Yeah.
it is definitely feels like a portal. Not a portal, it sounds so woo, but
I know what you mean.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, a
Important to
shift.
do that. That will work for me. Well, that would
Okay,
work for me.
okay,
But
good.
it's also, it's Taurus is ruled by Venus, so Venus is here.
Mm,
But also Taurus is all about our values, what we
mm,
value, how we earn our own money, how we look at possessions or how we regard possessions. So Taurus is about being safe. It doesn't, it wants to build something that's very secure and safe, and it wants to do it slowly. It's not the Taurus, the bull, you can't push a bull.
no,
He
no,
just likes hanging out with his cows and his glass of wine in his field.
that's
So
it.
it's got
Yeah,
that energy too, and everything is fecund at the moment.
yeah,
Everything is growing. It's just miraculous walking into a
yeah.
garden or going for a walk because
Mm.
all the May blossom now is out.
Yeah,
So it's
May.
terribly,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. It's the most beautiful month. That's on one side of it, but by heck, what's happening in the zeitgeist or the collective, that's a whole different matter.
Yeah,
That's not
I
peaceful.
this whole week has been such a strange,
Yeah.
um, and we kind of touched on this before we came on. Each of us are going through this, and maybe this is a Scorpio. Each of us are going through this internal shifts that are manifesting outwards, and we kind of close it in and say, oh, it's just my thing. Like we bought our tickets to fly back to South Africa. So it's this big pilgrimage starting and it's overwhelming but it's not just me going through it or, I chatted to you and you have your stuff going on. So
You're right.
there's I don't know, shift, more intense. I mean, today is full moon in Scorpio, Mercury's conjunct Chiron.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
There's a lot,
yeah.
and moons are kind of on the first and the last day of May, so it's holding us in this Scorpio Sagittarius. Yeah, I
And
don't
then don't forget that Pluto turns retrograde on the
retrograde.
6th. So
That's right.
and I think a lot of us are kind of feeling that
Mm,
intensity because Pluto just doesn't take prisoners. That's what
no,
I'm learning about Pluto. If he's got you in your sights, in his sights, you just got to just go with it because there's no point saying,
yeah.
"Oh, no thanks."
No, it
Oh,
doesn't.
really? No. You just got, and
Yeah.
Pluto takes you into the underworld. And I don't know if anybody else is feeling this out here. It'd be interesting to see with your comments
Mm,
below. But I'm not into the ascension process. And I
mm,
don't think you are particularly
mm,
either, Michelle.
no.
And I think there is a major shift happening for those of us that are willing to be open to it.
Yeah.
Something, and we were talking about this before we came on, weren't we? Something more than just the norm. It's
Mm,
something deeper. It's something I don't know. I don't even know what to put into words, but I have several friends who I would call quite awake,
Yeah.
and they're also having this deep something. And
Mm.
none of us, and you're feeling it too, none of us have the words for it.
No, they are no words, and it's not comfortable. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm doing this thing. It's
Yeah,
like, whew, yeah, it's unsettling in a way, and
yeah.
it feels like it's been building up to this, if that makes sense.
Well, it's interesting because the full moon, this full moon in Scorpio, is T-squaring Pluto.
Mm.
So, there's that
Pluto and I,
very strong,
yeah,
that's a very, very strong T square with Pluto at the apex, and then Pluto is about to go retrograde. So this is a very, very platonic time. And also Mars is the ruler of the new of the full moon is squaring Jupiter. And then you've got Mercury, as you say, conjunct Chiron. That's a very, very full on, very, very full on full moon. And I'm not a moon girl. I don't
yeah,
often feel impacted by the moon, but by it, I do by this one.
yeah. No, it's taking no prisoners.
Yeah. No,
Um, no,
no.
yeah. Pluto and I'm having conversations, and you just reminding me that I need to go and chat with Pluto for a bit. Because on my astrocartography, Pluto is lying right, my Pluto is lying right where I'm moving to.
Oh,
So this
really?
is playing something like
Wow.
subconsciously. I'm like, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's an interesting one.
Well, it'll certainly be transformative,
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, I definitely signed up for this.
You did, and it's never Pluto is never easy, but you come out in a different way.
Mm,
And I'm teaching at the moment the astrology of life and death, and I've just been
yeah.
doing the astrology of alchemy
Ooh,
and looking at the alchemical process of awakening, which you have to
yeah,
go through four stages. And
yeah,
the first one is Pluto, it's the Negro. You go into the black stuff.
yeah,
And, that's when you're dying. You're literally,
yeah,
your life as you know it is dying. You as you know it is dying. And then this
yeah.
whole process starts when you're ready to start
Mm,
kind of the recovery process of, you go through the healing if you choose to go that route. Some people
mm.
just stay in the darkness. And then, how can I use what I'm learning to help other people? And then the integration is actually doing that. But it's a long process. It just doesn't
Yeah, and it's
happen
not
in a day.
set, I mean, I love alchemy. I love that process. It's the darkness, it's loss of identity. It's really you know, yeah, it
Yeah.
unsettling. And then we go into the white, we go into the crystal shop in the alchemist, or um yeah, and then we move, and if we choose, there's always this element of choice within this process.
Mhm.
I've also just been diving into the phoenix, the story of the phoenix, and where it actually started with this bird in Egyptian mythology called Bennu, who came from, created itself, and was a very much a creative process, where the phoenix has this story of also transformation, but through fire and through breaking down. So
Mm.
these elements, I think, play a big role in how we experience.
Yeah, and I think it's really interesting the difference between transformation and transmutation.
Yeah,
So transformation is I'll give you an example. Oh, I've given up smoking,
yeah,
so I've changed my life and it'll be better. But you haven't actually dealt with the addiction of why you're
mhm,
smoking in the first place, or the pain that's
yeah,
made you smoke, and and all of that. You haven't done the inner
yeah,
work.
yeah,
And I always look at the chameleon, the chameleon changes colors but stays a chameleon. But
yeah.
the transmutation is absolutely the phoenix rising. You go
Mm,
into the depth of, you walk the fire,
mm,
you go into those depth, the cold cave, and there's
yeah,
nobody
yeah,
there. Oh God,
yeah,
help. And then you start to come out, and you die to
yeah.
become it's pretty glib to say reborn, but there
Mhm,
is this process of
mm.
transmutation deep in the soul.
which is Pluto, which is
which is
death and
Pluto.
rebirth. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's not fun.
No, it's not fun.
No,
No.
it's not fun.
And
Um,
and we
I'm
knew that we were signing up for this, didn't we? Did we?
God, I don't know. I
Yeah.
sometimes go, this is so relentless.
Mm,
What am I doing here?
yeah.
And I think a lot of us as well. And again, I may be making this story up. Be really interesting if other people feel this too out there, because Michelle and I are struggling with this. We do not have any answers,
Mm,
but this sort of sense of did we sign up for it?
mm.
Did we? Sometimes I feel I think I did.
I
I do
also have
feel
that.
Dolores Cannon is cool. I think she was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, yeah,
She was
yeah.
a
She
cool
was amazing.
cookie.
Yeah. And but so like I mean, you have to, and I think this is the process. I think, every time I come to this, because it is this spiral, it is this kind of revisiting things and going deeper and deeper. And then you think, okay, well, I'm done now. I've done it now.
Yeah,
But it's never done.
never done.
It's
And
never done.
no, and I've been talking a lot about death, astrology at the end of life, and people have incredible deathbed gestalts where they suddenly
Mm,
awaken.
yeah.
They get it, or
Yeah.
after a huge struggle, they suddenly have this experience of just letting go and dying at peace. Not everyone, by the way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stories about people having a very, very difficult deaths.
Yeah.
I don't want to romanticize death, but I think the more work that we tend to do during our lifetime, the more that we are able to reach the end of our life with a
Mm,
sense of completion.
yeah.
And good old Carl Jung, I love Carl Jung.
Me too. I
He
really do.
said after 44, after the midlife crisis, the rest of your life, you should be preparing for your death.
Yeah,
It
which
takes that
maybe
long.
has shifted a bit now. I think we have extended our life expectation a little bit, so maybe 44 seems so young.
Well, it is, but
No,
88 isn't,
no,
you
it's not.
know.
No, it's not.
And
Yeah,
also, anyway, we're not, I
yeah,
mean, we could get much into this, but,
yeah.
I have issues with this life extending thing when we don't have the support, the physical
Quality.
support to,
Yeah,
emotional, mental support
yeah.
to actually make that a pleasant experience for a lot of people. So,
Yeah, which is also part of this. I'm feeling very much into being, with each other while we grow old.
yeah, yeah,
In community, or I
yeah,
don't really like the word community, but that tribe or clan aspect of
yeah,
we are, we are, part of a group of different kinds and ages and colors and whatever. So there's a feeding of each other within that space. Which I think we
yeah.
miss in the westernized world, where it's very individuated and very, I have to get to the top of the ladder, but I'm the only one here, and I'm on my own. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we never are, but we feel
No.
it's so intense. But I
Yeah.
think it's really important to understand that P Pluto only feels really, really challenging when we're clinging on to something that we're not willing to let go of. And Pluto's
Mm.
going, I'm going to prise your fingers off. You can hang on as much as you like, but they're coming off. And that sort of free
Yeah.
fall, oh my God, help. And so, I do believe that's what I'm practicing at the moment, complete surrender into Pluto leading my way at the moment. There's
Mm.
something happening in the zeitgeist, Michelle. Something is out there. I don't want to say forcing, but doing something with us, going, bring it up, get it out.
Yeah. Which is
Yeah,
it. I think you mentioned it is Buddha's birthday today, and you just made me think of this element of unattachment, or um, and that's it, even in my process now, packing up and getting rid of stuff and what's
yeah,
important and what's not important. Nothing's really important except for my family, my children, and my,
yeah.
husband, and that, and the cat, obviously, and that we
Yes.
all move together and do it in a way that it's not. traumatic or that there's no regrets or there's no any of that. Yeah,
Yeah,
but you get attached. You get attached to the silly
you
things.
do.
Yeah, it's
It's
human.
that's very, very that's Taurus in action. Taurus
Yeah,
doesn't want to let go of
yeah,
its things, its
yeah,
stuff. And
yeah,
Taurus people love stuff because it
yeah.
makes them feel safe. That's that, and we have to learn this very painful process that isn't actually the outside stuff, it's the internal, our values from the inside. That's our, what we really value about ourselves and about our world. That's what matters. But yeah, that's
The
the
Taurus.
the flashy car outside. We think
Yeah.
that's it, and of course it never is.
No, but this is what the Scorpio moon is bringing, isn't it? This
Yeah,
inside
yeah,
values, and it's
yes,
mixing maybe a little bit with this Tory and I want to have the designer brand label thing
yes.
because then I'm going
Oh
to
my
feel
God.
better.
And Scorpio does too.
Mm,
That's what it's all about. And
yeah,
don't forget they're both fixed signs. They're fixed. Taurus is fixed and Scorpio is fixed. So try and get them to let go. It's really challenging. Anyway, we better move on because otherwise we're talking about this for. I think the other another big one in May is the Mars conjunct Chiron. I
the
think that's going to
16.
be interesting. Chiron's been in Aries since 2018, around about that
Yeah.
time, and it's all about the wound of who am I.
Yeah.
So I think Mars on the collective, Mars is going to join Chiron, and this is all about, well, who am I? Mars is assertion, and poor
Yeah.
old Chiron's is that very, very painful wound and vulnerability. So it
Mm,
could be that you're really feeling, that sense of, people are dismissing me, or I'm not wanted, or I don't know who I am. So I don't know. That
yeah.
that could be coming up. I think that that's definitely in the zeitgeist. Um,
And it's also on the same day. It's on the 16th, so the same day as the new moon in Taurus.
yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's very, very strong. So the new moon is actually conjunct Mercury and Uranus. So whoopee doo. So here's the new moon in Taurus, conjunct Uranus.
You
Boo!
just moved into Gemini
Just moved
after
into, yeah,
7 years.
yeah,
And yeah,
yeah,
that's a whole journey on its own. And now
yeah.
it's going,
It's a wide conjunction,
okay.
and it's out of
Okay.
sign. Obviously, as you say, Uranus is in Gemini, but
Yeah.
I think this is going to be interesting. It's ruled by
Yeah.
Venus, so I think money stuff is going to come up.
Mm,
Money, it could be. I mean, it's a lovely moon.
yeah.
It's a quiet moon. It's not an intense moon like we're getting today.
Yeah.
I don't know if anything's quiet at the moment. I don't
No,
know. We
I
just
don't
have
think
to.
anything's quiet.
No.
And there's also a lot of Mercury movement in this month.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah,
Uranus comes up in a lot of this. Mercury, obviously Taurus, Sun's moving out of Taurus at the almost
yeah.
towards the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
That's the end of, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, and that's going to be going into Gemini. And then we've got you, as you say, we've got Uranus in Gemini now. And that's
Yeah.
just kind of nestling down at the moment. It's kind of going, oh, okay, new home. I'll just unpack my things. Because he only took its suitcase
Yeah.
last time, but this time it's unpacking
Yeah.
for the next 7 years. So, wherever Uranus is in your chart, whatever house is in your chart,
Mm,
you will experience changes. You will.
mm,
And if you look back at which house Uranus has been going through for the last 7 years, just look back on the last 7 years. Just to give you a quick example, I had Uranus in my sixth house
yeah.
and I changed out overnight. I changed from being working with end of life and death and dying into becoming an astrologer. Bingo. Never expected that. Never. And then bringing the two together.
Yeah.
Never expected that. What was it like for you?
I'm not sure yet. I'm still trying to settle into it.
No,
Yeah.
what it was like.
Oh. when it moved. Yeah.
Yes. So where's Taurus in your chart?
I'm not sure actually. You've got me now.
Oh, okay.
See, let me have a look quick. Um, so I have got Taurus is in my second house.
Your second. So I
Yeah.
want what? Well, it's interesting, isn't it, that you're moving
Mm,
as Uranus goes into your third house, and that's obviously house of travel, isn't it? And
yeah.
learning and
Yeah.
new community.
Yeah. Very much. Very much. But it's
Yeah.
also letting go of the
New
old, isn't it?
neighborhood.
Within, yeah.
Yeah.
Before that can happen. Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? And for you then, Uranus, well, what really matters? What are your
Yeah.
values?
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah, which
interesting?
comes up a lot when you move, doesn't it? When you
Yeah.
change your whole life really again,
Yeah.
and it's going back. It's not going something somewhere unknown, but it's not going
Yeah.
back as the same person. It's going back as a different person. So
Yeah. And it
yeah,
was quick, wasn't it? It was just
yeah,
like we're going. That's
yeah,
very Uranus. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, sometimes I kind of think about, are we putting too much on astrology? Does it
Mm.
really work like this? And I get very skeptical at times. And then you look at somebody's progressions or their
Yeah.
transits. I had a client yesterday, and you couldn't make it up.
Yeah.
Just
Well, this is
boom.
it. Yeah. But it's not a prediction tool. You
No,
know what I mean? And I
I
know you
do.
talk about this as well.
Yeah.
It's not, oh, let's see what's going to happen. Because it can be so many things.
It's a theme. It's the
Yeah.
themes, but
Yeah.
it's so synchronistic.
Yes.
It's miraculous.
Yeah.
If you've got your right birth time,
Mm,
that's the really important thing, the right
mm,
birth time, which sets your ascendant. But it
yeah.
is extraordinary how consistently synchronistic it is when you look at somebody's progressions and their transits
Yeah.
and you'll say, and they'll say, "Oh, I'm planning to do blah blah," and you
Yeah.
and you go, "Of course you are,
It's right there.
of course you are." Well, that makes
Yeah.
sense. So,
Yeah.
yes, on we go. So, we've got on the May the 16th, we've got a Mercury conjunct Uranus. So, there could be more truths come. Oh God, yet more truths
Mm.
coming to light. Oh God. Or announcements to be made, or I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see how all that one plays out. But
Yeah.
that would be quite interesting in the middle of the month.
Yeah.
May the 21st, the Sun conjuncts Uranus. Uranus is getting a bit of a personal blast at the moment. I mean, it happens every year, obviously, the Sun
Yeah.
conjuncts
Yeah.
Uranus, but hasn't been in Gemini
No.
before
No.
for a very long time.
Yeah.
So yes, it's 80 years the last time Uranus was in Gemini.
Yeah. That's a
So
long time.
that's
That's a
not in most
lifetime.
people's lifetime. Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait, we'll have to see. But Geminis may feel very expansive or very free or
Mm,
revolutionary or
mm,
wanting to go out and do things differently. So,
yeah.
and obviously the air signs are all going to be impacted because obviously Uranus is making aspects to all the air signs.
Yeah. And then obviously I'm Sagittarius, so I'm the opposite on the
Yeah,
opposite side,
yeah,
which is also feeling
yeah. That's
very
doing
kind
its
of
thing.
yeah,
That's doing its thing.
yeah. As it would.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
on the 18th, Mercury also conjuncts Uranus. There's a lot of Uranus Mercury.
I've got Mercury on the 16th. Oh, that enters and
Oh,
conjuncts. Have you got it on the 18th?
I've got Mercury conjuncting Uranus on the 18th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so yes, that definitely happens too.
Just
So
as
as I said,
Mars
I think
enters
there's going to
Taurus.
be
Yeah.
announcements or stuff coming to light
Oh dear.
yet more.
Yeah.
And explosive things as well. It could be quite explosive.
Mm.
Let's just hope. Oh God, we don't want to go into what's
No.
happening, do we? Let's not do that.
Yeah.
It's
Let's not
just
put
not
that up
good. The
there.
whole thing is
Yeah.
terrible. So then we have What do we have? Um, let's go to the second full moon,
Mm.
which is in lovely Sagittarius. Let's breathe a sigh of relief on the
Yeah,
31st. So this is called a blue moon.
yeah,
Now, there's it's a little bit unusual. It's not that unusual. It's all
no,
about the timing of the fact our calendar is out of sync with the 30, the
yeah,
13
yeah,
moons. That's all it is. So
yeah,
a lot of astrologers will make a big deal about this blue moon,
yeah.
but I
The
don't.
best ever and the
Yeah, yeah.
scary,
And it
yeah,
will change for our lives forever,
yeah.
all of that. So I don't do
Over.
that. But
Mm.
it is Sagittarius is lovely because it's ruled by Jupiter. Yay! Um, so I feel like there is, well, it's square the nodes. That is for sure. So I think, let me just I've got it here. So the nodes are obviously Pisces and the last degrees of Pisces and Virgo. And yes, let me just get this. Yeah, it's going Uranus and the Sun, and obviously it square the nodes. So it
Yeah.
could, and Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and Jupiter
Mm.
also rules the North Node. So it is a
Interesting.
Very Jupiter orientated moon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
full moon. But also Jupiter is in Cancer, which obviously is ruled by the moon. So this is a
Yeah.
very moony time.
Yeah. Very moony month, it
A
feels like.
very, very moony month,
Yeah.
very moony month.
Yeah.
A Sagittarius moon wants to go and explore. It wants
Mm.
to go out into the world, and it wants to find those yeah, it wants to look over the horizon to see the bigger
Yeah.
picture. So
Yeah.
I think this is a time where we may start to feel a little easier. I think
Mm.
Sagittarius is very optimistic, as you know, you being a
Always. Always.
Sagittarius, always.
Yeah. To
Um,
everyone else's detriment, including their own.
so I don't know that it's very home orientated with Jupiter there, in
Yeah.
Cancer, exalted as
Yeah.
well. So maybe it's looking at what we really value about our family, our home,
Mm.
our,
Mm.
you know, Sagittarius moon loves different cultures. So
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe that will come more into the fore about the
That'd be
fact that
nice.
we are a universal family. We are very different.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
having been traveled a lot in my life, I we are these different cultures are very different from each other. There is no question
Yeah.
about that. But
Yeah.
fundamentally, we are part of the human condition in our
Yeah.
own way. So
And we can engage with these cultures and I mean,
yes,
wasn't it the shifts are quite big, even in the bigger zeitgeist space, with
yes,
the Pope that just went into a mosque the other day, which was
yes,
brilliant. I mean, this is what you're
yes,
talking about, isn't it? It's this
yes,
connection to other cultures and going, but that's
yeah.
not scary, that's just different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think what's interesting about this blue moon
Yeah.
is that Uranus is conjunct the sun.
Uh,
So there is going to be some kind of, and it's in Gemini,
yeah.
that's boom time. So we'll
Mm.
have to wait and see how this plays out. But because it's square the nodes,
Yeah.
Uranus is square the nodes, I'm expecting something towards the end of the month, which is explosive information. It could be a sudden technical
Technology.
innovation suddenly comes out.
Yeah.
Perhaps more to do with AI, could be,
Mm.
I don't know.
Mm.
But something, news,
Yeah.
truth.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe stretching us, the moon's in Sag. I don't know, but let's
Yeah.
watch out for that too.
Okay. Did you say the moon was conjunct the nodes or
No,
Uranus?
no, no. No, they're square. It's
Okay.
square. It's
Okay.
making so the. I
Okay.
mean, a lot of people don't look at the nodes, particularly for in moon astrology, but I do because obviously the moon's nodes are to do with when the moon touches the ecliptic.
Yeah.
That's the point. So
Yeah.
I think, and the north node is always to do with destiny.
Mm,
Where we're heading.
mm,
So I think this is going to be something explosive
mm,
coming out. It could, because it's a north node in Pisces, there could be this sudden, sudden something to do with faith or
mm. Mystical
belief
mysticism. Yeah.
or I
Yeah.
don't know, or maybe people coming up and talking about it more, or more faiths coming out
Mm,
and discussing things, but maybe easing the Abrahamic faiths. It could be something to do with that.
that would be very welcome, I think, for me personally, and I think a lot of other people. Yeah.
Well, it's going to come out of what's happening in the Middle East at the
Yeah.
moment. It has to. It's all
Yeah.
breaking open.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it's going to how it's going to resolve at them. Nobody does at the moment, but it is
Yeah.
definitely Pluto is
Yeah.
taking all of us saying, well, what is faith then?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not
And whose
fundamental.
faith, whose God is,
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. And at this when this is all happening, Venus is also in Cancer at that time, isn't it?
Yes, it is,
Yeah.
and it's very near to Jupiter. It shares
Mm,
Cancer with Jupiter, which is lovely.
yeah.
So my hope is that there will be some form of more peaceful, oh gosh, let's hope so, more peaceful communication, or I
Yeah.
don't know. Um,
Mm,
it's so difficult at the moment. Everything is with Uranus playing such a
yeah.
strong role. It's very difficult to predict anything at the moment that
Yeah.
could be solid or safe.
Yeah.
But
But
I
I
do
think,
love the fact Jupiter and um, Venus are together.
yeah.
I do love that.
I think we're moving into a space in time where we don't really know what else is possible. We don't
Yeah,
really know what could be the next thing,
yeah,
the big
yeah.
news or the big this, or because so much has broken down already. That there's, yeah,
I think we've got a lot more to go.
yeah, yeah. No, I
So,
agree. Yeah,
and I don't want to speak for you, Michelle, but I do feel like saying to everyone out there, if you're going through a really wobbly time at the moment, you're not alone.
yeah,
You know, you're
yeah,
not.
yeah.
It is a very, very strange time for
Mm,
humanity at the moment, generally.
mm,
And we don't know any outcomes. We're completely out of control of what happens, even, not in my name, but it's happening.
yeah.
So it's how can you find resilience and support within yourself as we go through these next few very wobbly years?
Yeah. Yeah. And it always comes back to me to yourself, this I tend to hold my heart in my tummy and breathe, and hold yourself because yeah, it
Yeah,
is what is safe.
yeah,
You are safe. All
yeah,
the rest is transitions. If you see
yeah.
yourself as an energetic being, then you're always safe. But
Yeah, and
yeah.
I would say also for people who are in very difficult relationships, very volatile relationships, just do talk to somebody or
Mm,
find, talk to a charity or find
mm,
some way of doing that. Because with Uranus in Gemini and all of this very Uranus energy, it can be very volatile at the moment and it's playing out in the world. So it's going to play
yeah.
out in your life as well.
Yeah.
So just be extra, extra vigilant. And if you don't feel safe, please find somewhere that you can go or talk to somebody that you feel safe with.
Yeah.
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 And have an
Yeah.
exit strategy. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Is there anything else? We don't really know what's going to happen, do we? But we can. we can support each other energetically, even if we don't,
Yeah.
talk to each other every day
Yeah.
or see each other every day. There is
Yeah.
I feel an energetic hold of each other that's possible.
Yeah,
But at times
definitely.
are rough. I mean, it's rough. Yeah, it's rough.
They're not going to try and pretend it isn't. And I think, we were talking about spiritual bypassing in the group,
Mm,
in the class as well. And this is not a time for pretending everything's fine and then going, oh, it's
mm,
all la la land and we're all going to ascend, wake up and ascend to something else. We're not. We've got to do the alchemical process work of transmutation, of working through this, because that is how humanity is going to evolve. It is not about spiritual bypassing because you'll get disappointed.
yeah, or following the next guru or replacing the addiction or, doing all
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
time to do the heavy lifting work now, and that's extremely painful. So please do find support out there. You're not on your
Mm,
own. We're all at it.
yeah, yeah,
But,
yeah, yeah, yeah. And respect to everyone
yeah,
that's doing that
yeah,
because it's
yeah,
it's yeah, it's
yeah.
not easy and I don't know, does it become more difficult the deeper you go?
It's never ending. That's all I know.
It's
I'm
never ending.
73 and I'm still bloody at it. And it's never,
Yeah.
it's relentless.
Yeah. Yeah.
But hey, that's life. That's what we signed up to do. So,
Well, that's it. We are
yeah.
here to learn and to experience the moments in between is also, I'll end with this, but my son was doing athletics, one his first athletics kind of competition, mini league for a club close by. And he did really well. He broke two of his personal bests. And in the car, he started, next time I should have done this and this. And I'm like, but we need to celebrate the fact that you've just broken your personal best. That's amazing. And then we can look at maybe what comes next. So to celebrate
Yeah.
the moments, the
Yeah.
sunshine, the birds singing, and try
And
to
what you've
express this
achieved
and what
already,
you've
that you're
achieved.
still
Yeah.
here, you're still
Yeah.
at it, you're still signing up, you're still watching
Yeah.
videos, you're still engaged. Well,
Yeah.
bloody done. You haven't given up.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sue. Always a pleasure. We will see you next month.